So now we're going to look at how to write equations when you have 2 points. Okay. So first one. Okay. So anytime we're going to write an equation in 2 points, this is when it's important to know what our slope equation is. And just as a reminder, slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Right. So if I have 2 points, right, that means that I have x1, y1, and over here I have x2, y2. Right. I have 2 points. And so that means my 9 is x1, my negative 2 is y1, and my 4 is x2, and my 3 is y2. So I'm going to find the slope to start. Okay? So slope of this one is going to be y2, which is 3, minus negative 2, over, and then x2 is 4, minus x1 is 9. And so when I do this, I get 3 minus negative 2 is really like adding. So that's going to be 5 over, and then 4 minus 9 is negative 5. So I find my slope to be negative 1. Okay, so that's good. Now I have a slope. Okay, now that I have a slope, now what I can do is I can take a slope and a point and put it in point slope form, just like we did before. Okay, so we have our first point, x1, y1, and point slope form is, remember, is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. So we can just use that x1, y1 point, right? So let's do that. So we're going to say, okay, so for our problem here, we're going to write y minus y1 is negative 2 is equal to the slope, which we found to be negative 1, times x minus 9. Okay? Which is good. If we want it in point slope form, we're done. We're good. But let's say that they want it in slope intercept form. Okay? So if that's the case, we say, okay, well, minus the negative is really adding, and then we have to distribute, right? And so we get y plus 2 is equal to negative x, or negative 1x, and then negative 1 times negative 9 would be a positive 9. Okay? Again, this looks really close to slope intercept form. The only difference is I have that plus 2. So I'm going to subtract 2, and my answer to question 1 here in slope intercept form would be negative x plus 7. Okay? Perfect. All right, let's go to question number 2. All right, so we look at question number 2. All right, again, we have an x1, y1, and we have an x2, y2, right? So we find our slope. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which minus a negative is adding. So I get negative 6 over 2, which would be negative 3. Okay, so now I have my slope. I take my x1, y1 and put it into point slope form and say y minus 6 is equal to negative 3 times x minus negative 2. Okay? Again, super close. The only difference is I have to distribute. I get y minus 6 is equal to negative 3x minus 6. I add 6, y equals negative 3x, and then negative 6 plus 6 goes away. So here's my answer right there. Okay? Now you're probably thinking, or maybe you're not, but I can tell you, that we have that point 0, 0. Well, what if I would have put 0 in here and 0 in here? Well, y minus 0 is just y, and negative 3 times 0 is just 0. So really, we would have arrived at this anyway as well. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's look at question number 3 now. Okay, we're going to look at question number 3. Okay, so we start it the same way, right? x1, y1, x2, y2. That's probably a poor way of writing it, but we can still do the same thing, right? So first I'm going to find my slope. Okay, so y2 is 4 minus y1 is negative 4 over x2 is 2 minus negative 2. So minus a negative on both of it, I would get 8 over 4, which reduces to 2. So now we know the slope is 2. Okay, so again, we have an x1, y1. We have a slope of 2. Let's put it into point slope form. Y minus y1, which is negative 4, 4 is equal to 2 times the quantity x minus a negative 2. Okay, so multiply by 2, multiply by 2, I get y plus 4 is equal to 2x plus 4. Again, I subtract 4 from both sides, and that goes away. That actually goes away, and so we're left with y equals 2x. All right. Question number 4. Right? X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Right? Again, we start with our slope. Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Okay, minus the negative again, adding both times. So on top, I'm going to get 6, and on the bottom, I'm going to get negative 1. Well, 6 over negative 1 you could keep as a slope, or it actually reduces just to negative 6. Okay, that's nice. It's a whole number. Now, we put it into point-slope form. Okay, I'm going to do that over here. So y minus negative 3 is equal to negative 6 times x minus negative 1. Okay? And so now at this point, I can distribute, and I get y plus 3 is equal to negative 6x minus 6. I subtract 3, and I get y equals negative 6x, and negative 6 minus 3 is going to be negative 9. Okay? All right. So that's how we do it when we have 2 points. We find the slope. After we find the slope, then we put it into point-slope form using that x1, y1 again, and then we're able to simplify it and put it into slope-intercept form.